And welcome back to my channel and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to share with you a typical recipe that I make when we go to the thrift store. This food will cook for itself, and that way I don't need to worry about lunchtime. We can come home to an amazing home-cooked meal. Today we're going to make Pizza Hut breadsticks. Now this is a mock recipe, but it tastes almost like Pizza Hut breadsticks, and I'm going to make some of my spaghetti. So let's get right into the video because I have everything prepared ahead of time. That's one thing about time saving. If you can do as much as you can ahead of time, that way you're not so flustered and unorganized when it's time to cook your meal. So everything is ready to go. Crock pot and the bread machine to make this meal. Now, of course, you don't have to have a bread machine and you really don't have to have the crock pot either. But this is what helps you cook when you're not at home. All right, let's get right started. So last night I assembled all of my dried ingredients. I'm going to share with you at the end of the video a description of what the recipe is. It's Pizza Hut breadsticks. The pan is 4 cups of flour, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of yeast, 1.5 cups of warm water, and 2 tablespoons of oil. So I have all the dried ingredients. And my yeast was a little bit on the old side, so I wanted to make sure that it was still active and alive, and it is, because you can see all the foam on the top. That means your yeast is still alive. What we're going to do is add 2 tablespoons of oil and our yeast water mixture. And that's going to give us our dough for our breadsticks. And then we're going to add the topping. But now we're going to put this in the bread machine and let it start kneading and mixing. That way it rises while we're gone. And I'm going to go ahead and we're going to put the spaghetti sauce together. And then I'll show you the whole meal. So I'll show you when we eat and everything. It's so much fun knowing that your food is cooking for you and you can just have a relaxing morning. And you don't have to spend all morning in the kitchen. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my bread machine and I'll get back to you in just a moment. All right, so now we're gonna have the toppings. We're going to put the toppings in here and then I will melt it when we get home. So to this is the topping that goes on the breadsticks. This is going to be 1/2 cup of melted butter. And if any of you guys watched my video, I make my own butter. So I'm going to estimate it about 1/2 cup. That might be even a little more. Then we're going to add, it has 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And then we're going to add 3 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese. And this has herbs already in it. And then I'm going to use my herb mix. It calls for 2 tablespoons of parsley and a little bit of garlic powder. I have my own herb mix that has all that in. So I'm just going to add a little bit of that as well. Now this we're going to set aside. And that's for when the breadsticks are ready to be baked. I'm going to assemble my spaghetti sauce so that way it can cook in the crock pot on warm. Everything is cooked, so it's just basically to heat everything up. So when we get home, the only thing I have to do is put the topping on the breadsticks, bake them, and then make the noodles. And then in a matter of 15 minutes, we'll have a really good, delicious meal. All right, now let's get working on the pizza sauce because I can my own food. It's a matter of 1, 2, 3 because all we have to do is open up the jars and pour it in the crock pot. Here is the spaghetti sauce. If you want to know how to make and can spaghetti sauce, take a look at all of my videos. It's my penny pinching pizza sauce. Now I use spaghetti sauce and pizza sauce the same way. So it's one recipe and I will use it for both. We'll go ahead and put 2 quarts of that in the crock pot. Mom always did. I add a little bit of water to the jars just to get the rest of it out. Now if you're interested in, I also make my own pizza mix. I don't know if I need much of this. I think I'll just use a little bit to start because I think I do have it seasoning pretty good. But there is a homemade pizza mix. Okay, we're gonna just give it a little bit of a stir. And now we're gonna add in our ground beef. Okay, so now all we have to do is put this on high for about 15 minutes, and I'll put it on low. And then when we get back, I'll show you how to assemble the breadsticks. They're back in the bread machine there, and they're rising, and they're mixing, and they're doing all the work. I'll show you what everything looks like. For me, it'll be a couple hours. For you guys, it'll be just a matter of a second. All right, I'll see you back in a minute.
Narcissetto d'amor, delle belle turbando il riposo, Narcissetto d'amor. Non più avrai questi bei panacchini, quel cappello leggero galante, quella chioma, quell'aria brillante, quel vermiglio d'onesco color, quel vermiglio d'onesco color. Non più avrai quei pennacchini, quel cappello, quella chioma, quell'aria brillante. Non più avrai farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno di torno girando, delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcissetto a dolcino d'amor. Delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcissetto a dolcino d'amor. Fra guerrieri può far pacco, gran bustacchi stretto sacco, schioppo in spalla, sciabla a fianco, collo dritto, muso franco.
Well, there you go, everyone. It's a home-cooked meal that's very frugal, and it's sure to please the whole family. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Ed invece del fandango una marcia per il fango, per montagne, per valloni, con le nevi e salioni, al concerto di tromboni, di bombardie e di cannoni, che le porre tutti i tuoni all'orecchio fan fischiar. Non più avrai quei pennacchini, non più avrai quel cappello, non più avrai quella chioma, non più avrai quell'aria brillante.